Dogecoin is the 8th largest crypto by market cap, and I've talked about Doge for over 4 years on the channel now. And so this is a project that is the number 2 proof of work blockchain behind Bitcoin. It's the 8th largest crypto by market cap. It sees over $4.8 billion in 24-hour trading volume. And if you're looking at its market cap, it's currently sitting over $30 billion. And just the other day, one of the biggest announcements in its entire history just came out that not enough people are talking about, and it's actually in the stock market, because what we saw is that House of Doge, which is the commercial arm for like the Dogecoin Foundation, they officially went public and listed on the NASDAQ through a merger with Bragg House Holdings. So the symbol for the stock is TBH. And the cool thing about this is that now we can see, if we look at House of Doge, this is the commercial arm working alongside the Dogecoin Foundation, and it's designed to advance adoption and real-world utility of Dogecoin. So House of Doge's purpose is to build bridges between the Dogecoin community and mainstream payments and finance, while also protecting the culture that makes Dogecoin really unique. If we go over to X, we can see that the Dogecoin Foundation just posted about this the other day when it went public on October 13th, and they said that for many years, Dogecoin community has looked forward to the time when adoption by big name companies and institutional investors would propel us towards global adoption. That is what House of Doge is helping bring to the table. And today's big news is that House of Doge and Dogecoin Treasury are moving from a privately held to publicly held, having raised over a combined $225 million to advance Dogecoin's global adoption. So ultimately, what House of Dogecoin focuses on, and we can see they talk about it right here, but what they focus on is payments and merchant integrations. They focus on education for new users and businesses. They have like institutional access with a compliant professional infrastructure. They have community programs that keep Dogecoin like simple, fun, help, just continue with adoption. And also we can see that just with it, they also are all about making sure, decentralized for Dogecoin, that there's fast settlement, low friction, global by default. They're just ensuring that all of these things continue to progress for Dogecoin. You can see all of that right here. So ultimately, Dogecoin is decentralized. It's not issued by banks or governments, and House of Doge is working with the Dogecoin Foundation to just advance adoption and utility. On top of this, CleanCore, symbol ZONE, Zone, is another publicly listed stock that supports capital formation and structured financing for the Dogecoin Treasury. And the cool thing about this is that in the announcement, we can see that some of the biggest names in the world were part of this partnership. So you can see that it's at House of Doge, the corporate arm of the Dogecoin Foundation, listed on the NASDAQ through a merger with Bragg House Holdings. And if we look a little bit deeper, we can see that it builds institutional foundation for the Dogecoin ecosystem through the House of Doge partnerships with 21 Shares, one of the biggest names in the investment space, Robinhood. Obviously, everyone knows Robinhood, one of the biggest, brokerage and investment apps out there, and CleanCore Solutions, symbol ZONE, introducing a scalable, transparent business model anchored in regulated investment products, institutional partnerships, and alpha-generating yield strategies. So you can see that it's not just House of Doge, but there's a number of other partnerships that are really, really exciting. And so House of Doge is not like a Doge MicroStrategy. It's much more bigger, it's much more powerful, and the whole point of House of Doge is that they're leading Doge into its new era. They're driving utility, they're producing a bunch of different yield-producing products, they're developing payment technologies, and they have even a venture investing arm. So House of Doge is like just the corporate home for Dogecoin, which is, like I said, one of the top cryptos in the world. And Dogecoin was originally built for payments. It's, designed for to be money. And with 151 billion Doge in circulation, it rivals Tether's 173 billion. And House of Doge is creating the partnerships that you could already see listed right here. Creating the partnerships and building the technology that will cement Dogecoin as a payment powerhouse, which is something that is really cool in my opinion. In addition to this merger that recently just took place, this has brought a lot of dilution to the stock, which has caused the price to drop as of recently. But the important thing is that House of Doge hasn't put out any news or updates yet, which is really positive for the future. So it's like getting in at the very early stages of this, because if you're bullish on Dogecoin and its overall ecosystem and what it can do long term, then you really should be bullish on TBH. It's a stock that is just all about, being that corporate arm for Dogecoin, progressing it into the future, building out the utility for payments. And so that's something that's really exciting to me. In addition to this, a few other things with House of Doge and their products are going to be that we already have seen a Dogecoin European ETP. And this was done in partnership with 21 Shares. So asset manager 21 Shares announced that it formed an exclusive partnership with the House of Doge to create the only Dogecoin ETP endorsed by the Dogecoin Foundation. So this was in a press release, and this was rolled out back in April of this year. And the cool thing about it is that now 21 Shares had rolled out this ETP, and it's been trading for the last few months under the ticker Doge, and it was on, the SIX Swiss exchange. This is one of the largest exchanges in the world, and that we've already seen the year-to-date return on this ETP at over 71%. On top of this, we can see that they had their partnerships, like I mentioned already, with, in addition to 21 Shares, Robinhood. With their Robinhood partnership, it's not just a simple custodianship. So with House of Doge, 21 Shares, and Robinhood, they're developing alternative investment vehicles and Dogecoin yield products to bring Doge into the next generation of finance. And then really that last one with CleanCore Solutions, Zone. The reason why Zone is so important is that because investing in TBH, which is the House of Doge, or investing in Zone, which is CleanCore Solutions, is not just buying into Dogecoin. It's investing in the engine driving the next era for Doge. And so TBH, House of Doge, is actively managing and expanding the Dogecoin ecosystem through yield-producing products, institutional partnerships, payments, and everything else we already talked about. So when you buy TBH, you're investing in the corporate arm of Dogecoin, like the owner of Dogecoin IP and the arm driving innovation, creating products. So together, House of Doge and the foundation are just driving all of these major partnerships and utility long term. But when you buy Zone is ultimately allowing you to invest in the official Dogecoin treasury. So it's the entity that holds, manages, and grows Doge holdings at scale. So Zone captures the entire yield opportunity of Dogecoin by professionally accumulating and managing Doge through structured treasury operations. This is something that is really cool because together with CleanCore Solutions and with TBH, the House of Doge, they represent the managed layer of the whole entire Dogecoin economy. So the enterprise that's building, holding, and generating returns from Doge utilities. So ultimately, investors who put money into both of these stocks are ultimately not speculating just on price alone. They're participating in this huge upswing of Dogecoin's real-world expansion, which is backed by active management, yield strategies, and getting into these institutional partnerships. So Zone, you could just think of it as like Zone is the micro strategy of Dogecoin, and TBH is ultimately just the utility and corporate arm of Dogecoin. So you could see that both of these are, in my opinion, going to be real game changers over the next few years, because CleanCore Solutions is not even just a micro strategy for Dogecoin. CleanCore Solutions is accumulating Dogecoin. They're giving investors institutional grade exposure to Dogecoin through the official Dogecoin treasury. And while MicroStrategy just passively stores Bitcoin, Zone actively leverages its holdings through its partner House of Doge, and together they generate yield as well. So ultimately, there's a lot of exciting things going on. We've already seen that Zone and their official Dogecoin treasury, they're Like I said, they're the MicroStrategy of Dogecoin. They're backed by the Dogecoin Foundation, and they're like the epicenter for institutional Dogecoin adoption. And then TBH is like the corporate arm, just improving that utility and expanding that long term. Last thing I want to talk about is going to be with the team. If we scroll up to the top of House of Doge's website, we can click on team, and we're going to see all the details of their team. Marco is he's the chief executive officer of House of Doge. And the cool thing about him is that he is someone who was a payment executive who sold his last company to Pfizer for over $270 million. He's going to help lead Dogecoin into its payments era. It's something that I think is really important to be leading the team. We also have a number of others like Timothy Stebbing, Mark Lau, Charles Park, and a lot more, and you could read all about them. But having this person at the head of the company who has been very successful with selling companies in the past for hundreds of millions of dollars in the payment sector, I think is really going to help bring Dogecoin to the next level and really help bring TBH to all-time record highs. So now it's really undervalued in my opinion, and I'm expecting big things for TBH and CleanCore Solutions moving forward.